We're still here in New York at the SPJ Momentum Sports Marketing Symposium, and now I'm joined by David Palmer, Director of Partnership Marketing and Planning for Hershey's, as well as Shaun Brown, Senior Vice President of CPG and Digital Shopper for Momentum. So, big theme we've been talking about the whole conference is this idea of fan first. So, what does that mean when we focus specifically on the topic of retail?
Sure. It's a great question. I think, for us at the Hershey Company, specifically on our Reese's brand, we always want to take everything through the lens of the fan. So we know that that fan is also a shopper and they buy our products. So it's really important for us to make sure, when we do a partnership, we have a true understanding of who that fan is, what their shopping behaviors are. In our industry, we talk about occasions and occasion-based marketing. And so we really leverage that at the fan level, and then bring it to life in store, right? So that's the final step. As we think about that fan and their journey on the path to purchase, the final step is really in store. So we want to start talking to them as a fan, and when they're about ready to make their purchase and they're actually making a purchase decision, we want to make sure that we've stayed within that total storyline with them.
Yeah, I would echo that, and you mentioned journey, so I would say fan journey is a big thing we play with, and understanding what is the pre, during, and post. So there's passions of what they have around the sport or the property, but how do we leverage that in a way that shares the storytelling of the brand and that property in a way that meets the occasion that shopper needs. And that gives us the communication platform that we map out on their way to the track or to the stadium or to the event. What are all those connection points that help influence them to make purchase, whether it be at the venue or on their way to take tailgating, or when they are at the venue and go home? How do I engage you in a way that wants to make you go drive purchase and repeat with us? So we're trying to map that process and that journey and provide the right connections and communication along that way.
So thinking more specifically about the live event experience, what are some tactics, what are some things that you're doing with Reese's around the live event experience that are effective in that customer journey, in driving them back to purchase your product at a retail location?
It's about how do we generate some content that's fan relevant? How do we engage the fans there and make them really become fans of the brand, right? So it's the occasion at that point in time is the on-site live event.
But then it gets back to the mindset of what does the fan need? What's the mindset before they get to the race, before they get to the event, the game, and while they're there?
It makes it challenging to find a scalable program, but on the same token, you're able to get very laser focused. And as we talked about earlier about being on that journey, right? So if you take that fan and you take them on their journey from when they're a consumer, they're a fan, then they're going into the experience in that live show, that last chance, if you can bring that, everything that they've done at store, at retail, and bring it together for them, that's your last chance at conversion. And oh, by the way, it also reminds them and helps them understand that you share some of the same values and beliefs that they do, some of those partnerships, that passion that they have for that sport. If you're developing that content, catching some of that content like I spoke about earlier on site, and then can deliver that to them in store, that's when you can really become part of the sport and really take that partnership to a new level because you truly understand the fan in their total journey.
Yeah. And to build on that, we've done a lot of research, and all of our research has told us 9 of the top 10 most used and most influential media nodes are retailer-owned assets. Their digital tools, their websites, their apps, their social feeds. So we have leveraged that with our partnerships to provide that right kind of content so we can work, that helps us with their activation at retail to get that message out and get retailer participation, because we know those are the right things, and that pushes what our media buys, what our activation plans look like.
Thank you. Fun talking about retail. Great insights.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Good talking with you.